Welcome to another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea. I am your host, and I'm very pleased to welcome back the now healthy Lee Harris from ATPI Travel. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, definitely healthy now. I think my body's just getting used to these UK germs getting after moving from New Zealand in the summer. Yeah, the winter's been harsh on me this year.
Did you see the news the other day? That Delta flight in Toronto Pearson Airport.
Just another one, isn't it? It just all seems to be a bit of a stream coming from the US airports at the moment. I don't know what the issues are, why it suddenly seems to have magnified over the past sort of 3 or 4 weeks. But yeah, it's a strange one.
The good thing is that at least because it crashed at Toronto Pearson, the Canadian Aviation Authority is going to be looking into it. Now, if that had happened in the US, now that Musk has gone in and fired, like I think they've fired now 132 FAA, and they're looking at quite a significant number more. And through all that, he's just awarded himself a new contract with the FAA. I got to get myself that kind of gig.
It's definitely the gig to have, isn't it?
I posted on LinkedIn not too long ago. I'm looking for a boat to take me from Mallorca to Canada this summer.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's an odd one. It does seem to be a bit out of the ordinary, shall we say, for the amount of issues that they've had. I can't believe it's all due to the governmental changes or whatever they've got there. But something's obviously happened in this sort of last sort of month, 4, 6 weeks, 8 weeks even. Because like you say, there do seem to be a few more issues than they normally would this time of year, or any time of year, really.
They've already had 84 deaths in the U.S. as a result of air traffic accidents. Fingers crossed that doesn't continue and things get back to where they should be. But
yeah,
who knows? I'm planning my flight path. And my daughter, when she went back to Canada a few years ago, she flew from here to Germany, from Germany to Yellowknife, and then Yellowknife to Vancouver. There's ways to avoid the American airspace entirely.
Yeah, not for me, because I'm actually in West Palm Beach in March. From a purely selfish point of view, let's hope they get it sorted out in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Not say anything. And of course, this week is no different than many other weeks. I think even if you calculate it over the past few years, I would be hesitant to say that there's maybe I can count on one hand the amount of times we haven't talked about some strike action or not somewhere in the world. And this week is no different. We have strike action. What's going on in Munich?
Yeah, large travel disruptions loom as airlines are set to cancel around 1,600 flights over 2 days at Munich Airport in Germany. Airport authorities have said that the airlines operating at the airport are likely to cancel most of the flights planned for the 2 days. Passengers have been advised to contact their airlines for more specific information on the flights. Now, the strike will start this Thursday at midnight and will last 48 hours until midnight Friday. Now, Munich Airport is one of Germany's busiest transport hubs, hosting a large number of Germany's national carrier, Lufthansa's flights. Anybody obviously travelling with Lufthansa or any other carrier out of Munich Airport or even transiting through Munich, obviously please keep in contact with your airline or travel provider, as your flights are likely to either be cancelled or significantly delayed.
So it's 48 hours, you said?
48 hours, yep. Starts Thursday, midnight morning.
It starts tonight, midnight.
Starts tonight, yes. So starts tonight, midnight, and finishes at Friday, the end of Friday. Yeah, so Saturday morning, basically.
Yeah. So tonight, midnight till Friday, midnight.
Yeah.
You're confusing, Lee, really.
I know. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? It's just how my brain works.
And British Airways.
Yeah, British Airways has defended its service levels after being ranked as one of the worst long-haul carriers in new research. Ryanair and Wizz Air also criticised the survey after they were rated bottom of the short-haul rankings in the Consumer Group's annual airline satisfaction survey. Now, the poll ranked Singapore Airlines at the top of the long-haul rankings above Etihad, Emirates and Qatar Airlines. Jet2 took first place in the short-haul category for the 4th consecutive year and is also marking its 10th year as a Which recommended provider. Now, the airline received high marks for customer service, booking, cleanliness, and value for money. Jet2 also had among the lowest rate of last-minute cancellations of any airline on the survey, with just 0.1% cancelled at short notice. However, BA and your national carrier, Rhea, Air Canada, scored a measly 2 stars out of 5 across several categories, including value for money, seat comfort, and cabin environment. BA also had high levels of last-minute cancellations, with around 2% of flights cancelled within 24 hours of departure.
See, it's surprising because you take a look at airlines like Air Canada and British Airways, and they used to be the jewel of the fleet for their countries. I can't say much about Air Canada because I actually haven't flown them for a very long time. But the last time I was on a BA flight, I felt like I was on, that bus. When you got like a shiny new Greyhound bus, but it breaks down. So they've gotten that bus that has been retired for the last 40 years, and they pulled it into service because they need to get the people to another place. That's how BA reminded me. Just even from check-in straight through to any service, anything, even the seats were like mucky and dirty and gross. It just didn't feel like the BA experience of 25 years ago.
Yeah, like you're saying, 25 years ago, it was a luxury service almost. Yeah. And that has slipped. That's not just BA, that's a lot of airlines. It has slipped. It's more about the numbers you get on there than anything else. But yeah, I've not flown with BA for a while, so it's hard for me to comment on the actual product itself. But what is quite damning is the flight cancellations and delays that have been ranked at 2% within 24 hours. That might not, when you say 2%, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot of flights when you think of the amount that they are actually flying.
I think the surprise for me and for a lot of people is that I guess when we're paying next to nothing for a flight, we expect that when we get on board. But when you're paying 2-3 times what you pay anybody else to get on this service that's supposedly like premium, not low cost, and then you get worse or equal to the low cost carrier, you think they're doing themselves in. It's their own fault.
Right. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, they are. But hopefully, fingers crossed, this survey may hopefully get the guys who are ranking lower, Air Canada, BA, Ryanair, Wizz Air, to up their game a little bit. Ryanair and Wizz Air are a little bit different. They are low-cost carriers, and like you say, you get what you pay for a little bit. Would I see much difference in what they offer? Probably not. But people like BA and Air Canada, then you'd hope, fingers crossed, that seeing this and the survey that's come back from them, and at the end of the day, this is from people who are flying on them. This isn't from anybody else. It is a survey of passengers, and if people aren't happy, then hopefully, fingers crossed, they will address the concerns that people have got.
I think people tend to forget that their wallets do a lot of talking. And if you stop booking with these carriers and start booking with other carriers, they're going to wake up pretty quick and realize that the CEO is getting far more money than he should. And maybe they might want to reinvest some of that cash back into their actual service. Moving on, because I should now. Greece is having some issues.
They are, yeah. So a warning of flight cancellations and delays in Greece on Friday has come in from an official Foreign Office travel alert. Now, travel advice was updated for the country last night to confirm reports that mass demonstrations are planned to mark the second anniversary of the 2023 Tempe Valley train collision, which occurred in Thessaly region in central Greece, which killed 57 people and injured 85 more. Mass demonstrations will lead to widespread disruption to public services at the end of this week. Now, the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office alert have said all public transport will face serious disruptions and suspensions to services. Ferries, nationwide trains and air traffic controllers will conduct a 24-hour strike. Expect flight cancellations and delays for national and international flights to and from all airports in Greece. Again, like we always say, for anyone travelling to Greece this Friday or out of Greece or transit in Greece, please keep in contact with your airline or travel management provider.
So we're looking at Greece and Munich on Friday, creating havoc around the world as far as flights, sort of connection, et cetera, et cetera.
Indeed, yeah. So Europe is going to be fun on Friday, I would imagine, because it's, especially if it's air traffic controllers, it's not just those two airports, it's the airspace above as well. Fun times.
Good thing I don't go anywhere ever.
Yeah. Maybe anywhere else.
But we do have some good news coming out of France.
No, we don't. We really don't.
Oh.
The cost of flights from France will rise next month when the government more than doubles its solidarity tax on tickets. The French government has said the increases are fair on ecological and fiscal grounds, but critics say it will hit France's ability to compete globally. Now, airlines are expected to pass the cost of the tax hike on to passengers, but Air France has estimated it will cost the company about £83 million at a time when airlines are recovering still from COVID losses. Ryanair has threatened to reduce flights to and from the country's airports. Now, the tax on economy class short-haul flights within France or Europe will increase from £2.63 to £7.40 on flights, and the charge for an economy class medium-haul flight will rise to £15, and for long distance, more than 5,500 kilometres, to £40. Now, the tax on business and first class tickets also increases to £30 for short haul, £80 for medium haul, and £120 for long haul flights. And private jets will have their charges increased to between £220 and £2,100.
I thought you meant an increase in flights. I didn't mean you meant an increase in flight costs. That isn't great news.
That's not great news. It might be for the French government, but for the paying public, no, it's not good news, unfortunately. It's just another hit on top of all the other hits when you're talking about a cost of living crisis.
The Battle of, what is it, Marseille comes to mind, the French Revolution. I'm looking at the world state today, and I think regular people can't get ahead, no matter how much they try, how hard they work. It just seems like they can't get anywhere. They can't move.
No, it's tough, isn't it? It's real tough going at the moment. So, yeah, hopefully it'll change at some point. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I just don't know when.
On the upside, at least everybody listening to this has a job and they're looking to get somewhere. On the downside, we're not giving you all the news that you want to hear, but you have a job. Yay, you!
We're just telling you it's going to cost you more, and it's going to be more difficult to get wherever you want to go. You're welcome.
I know, right? But the saving grace in all of this is that we're all working.
That's right. Yeah, we've all got an income coming in at the moment.
There's like that light at the end of a very long, dark tunnel. You know what? For the only show that I do anymore, I've got to start being a little bit more optimistic, don't I?
I'll try my best to try and find some more upbeat, positive news for next week, because this was all doom and gloom.
Yeah, we got to find some like positive travel news. I don't know. Yeah. I can't even imagine.
I'll try and find a light-hearted little one to finish on each week. So we'll have 3 rubbish ones where it's just all rubbish and people are going to struggle to get where they want to go and they're going to pay extra money. But then we'll stick a little light-hearted puff piece in at the end.
At least we're not doing it on Monday anymore, because Mondays are traditionally those days where you give everybody all the dark news. But so now, they've got a couple of days to get over the dark news before we give them more at the stage. Yeah,
I think that's perfect. That's right, yeah.
See, I'm so positive. I'm always looking for that light at the end of the tunnel.
It's actually quite fitting that we actually do it on Wednesday, which is notoriously known as Hump Day because it's the middle of the week, and we're giving people the hump. It works perfectly, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness, the state of the world. And I was going to say at least it's sunny here, but it's not. It's raining. So
there you go. Just another miserable thing to throw in there.
Lee, I have to say thank you very much for coming on board and giving us all this dire and dastardly news. It's just so refreshing.
Oh, you're more than welcome anytime.
I know. But it is good to see you. It's good to see you healthy. And we do have to mention as well, actually, that if there's any crew out there that has any questions whatsoever about travel, please do contact Lee. All of his details are below this interview when it airs. Can't even speak today. Yeah, so thanks, Lee, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yep, absolute pleasure. So, looking forward to next week.
Nice. You've been watching another edition of Crew Travel right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Rhea. I have been your host. We'll see you again next week.